be talking about every major Splitgate version that has existed from Splitgate 1 to 2. Here we go. Alright, we're going to be talking about the very first version of Splitgate, which was actually called Wormhole Wars before it got the name Splitgate. So now, Wormhole Wars was also developed on Unreal Engine 4 and was built upon later to be Splitgate. Now, Wormhole Wars was pretty simple. I mean, it was like a prototype version of Splitgate, and it was just basically like a futuristic, like you're basically a futuristic soldier, and you have like different types of weapons. You have rocket launchers, you had sniper rifles, you had assault rifles, etc, etc. You also had the usual custom games where like you're able to create a lobby. It was just dedicated servers. At that point there was no matchmaking system until way later, which we will get to that sooner or later. But it was just basic maps. I think one map was called Arena L. I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong, but yeah, I'm probably wrong, probably. I'm sorry. Anyways, yeah, Warren Wars was, made in Unreal Engine 4 by Ian and Nick, and it's their college dorm project, which later became Splitgate. And yep, basically the whole game was revolve around Portal and Halo. Basically, it's basically what it is, right? Which is basically Splitgate is, right? And it kind of made this unique new twist to the FPS genre that not everyone knew that you can do. Back in 2017, this was pretty new back in 2017, really new. And with the portal mechanic, you have the portal gun equipped on your left wrist, and what it did was it gave you many opportunities to gunplay mechanics and able to flank opponents. Now, back in 2017, Warhol Wars was still pretty niche, and it was still had like a very, 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 and I mean very small community behind it. It was still growing, but Ian decided, go into different types of events, like actual IRL events, and bring Warhol Wars to the computers and allow people to play it through there. And we can say for a fact that a lot of people must have loved Wormhole Wars. And yeah, this is pretty much it. We are going to go into the next section. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are now in Splitgate Arena Warfare. Yep, the name has been changed to Splitgate, but it actually has the sub-name Arena Warfare. Now keep that in mind because we're going to be talking about that a little bit. So now we're going to be talking about a few changes that they did over time with, actually we are in 2018. Alright, so we're going to start with 0.6.0, and they have dedicated servers, but it's only for US West at the time. And we have matchmaking now, which is, good, of course, right? And they added a new recoil system. Vertical recoil rises over time, and then you have netcode improvements, then you have some rocket jumping, and then you have other stuff like bug fixes and whatnot. Then in 0.7.0, now you have a new shotgun that is new and improved. The game also has some balancing changes as well, with the battle rifle getting slightly weaker and the pistol getting stronger, or wherever the case may be. Then you have new maps like Arena Zero being in development. Then after that you got more changes. In 0.8.0 you have a new and improved sniper rifle, new characters and stuff, new maps, portal optimizations, zoom sensitivity that's been added to like a slider. And now portals now flash when enemies are camping on the other side. Then you have some more balancing changes. Then after that you have 0.9.0, you have a new and improved SMG, retextured assault rifle, weapon zoom sounds have been added, a ranking system that is in beta, and a new matchmaking system that is also was in beta as well. Then you have a new and improved outpost map that has been totally redone. You have a new plasma rifle. On 0.10.0, you have EMP grenades that has been brought out for the very first time. Now these will close enemy portals, and they were also in beta. Then you have a pistol zoom, new ambient sounds for Outpost and Olympus, added the ability to see enemies who killed you through walls, enhanced the ability to see your portals locations through walls, new HUD improvements, audio implementation improvements. Are in 0.11.0, it was more HUD and just optimizations to networks and stuff. They had also added EU servers, so now they have dedicated servers for EU. They also had a new AI improvements, a new HUD overhaul, a new portal effect, new and improved options menu, network optimizations, and then they also added the ability to choose to toggle crouch, sprint, and zoom. And then for a very last version, which is really 0.12.1, but all it is just, sprint crosshair, verticality support for radar, updated reticles, inspect animations, and all this, minor stuff and quality of life changes that they added. And these were the last, 0.12.0 and 0.12.1 are the last versions of 2018 before we actually get into the actual true launch of Splitgate 1. And we are going to be going into the year 2019. Here we go. All right, instead of just listing all the versions and all this and that, I'm going to just tell you everything that they added, throughout all these versions. So at the first, they added the railgun, which is a whole new thing, a whole new weapon that you can use against opponents. They added a portal gun. Then basically after that, they added new rank icons, a new main menu UI. And over time, this main menu UI will be changing throughout, different seasons or whatnot. They also added creator codes that you're able to support your favorite creator when purchasing disco balls. They also added a new rank playlist, team deathmatch, free for all, competitive play, aka tournament modes. And they also done some anti-cheat improvements, Pantheon optimizations for that map, outpost optimizations for that map, added out of bounds zones to Sol Stadium, and double number of spawn locations on all maps. And you got all these different stuff, new legendary skins, improved custom game, modifier UI readability, just all these different stuff for 2019. And that is all I'm gonna say. There's also more stuff, and what I'm getting all this information from is from the wiki. So it's from the Splitgate 1 wiki. So if you want to go look at it on your own time, then you're actually available to do so if at any time you want to. And we're actually going to jump start to 2021 because that is the most important year I want to talk about for Splitgate. All right, Monix, so why did you say Splitgate 2021 for Splitgate 1 is a big year? Well, this is actually the year when Splitgate 1 came into consoles, where it's available for PS4, PS5, Xbox Series S and X, and also for Xbox One S and X and the original Xbox One. So basically, you could play Splitgate on console, Splitgate 1 on console, right? And they have done different types of improvements and also allows you to have a console FOV slider, which I know a lot of console players wanted that, like especially back in 2021. They wanted that into shooters and stuff. I know back in in the mid 2010s, people really wanted that in video games on consoles, but they just didn't have that. Like, in the modern era of shooters, they have FOV sliders now, but back in the day, oh boy, it was barely any shooters that had FOV sliders for console. Anyways, actually, Splitgate 1 was also one of those games that had console KBM support, which I know a lot of people were asking for that. And yep, pretty much it was in beta. And the only issues it was with the mouse cursor was not appearing, and it was not sometimes, it just didn't appear at all for some reason because the console keyboard and mouse support was pretty limited. Now when people say console keyboard and mouse is limited on a certain game, it just means that it works gameplay wise, but when you're in the main menus and the UIs and you're navigating through the UIs, you just can't see the cursor. And also Splitgate 2 has the exact same problem. And yep, that's pretty much it. And they just have UI changes and quality of life changes, custom controller bindings, new controller button presets, cross-platform leaderboard toggles. They also have rank divisions, a new brass rank, which is a rank below bronze, which I don't know why. I guess this was the unranked. I don't know, but regardless, this was just basically what 2021 was. It was just a huge launch for consoles, and yep, basically console players were in for the ride with Splitgate. Anyways, let's go on to Splitgate 1 2022, and we're actually going to be talking about the very last version. Major different versions of the game was in 2022, but after that 1047 Games should stop working on the game to work on a new game, which is Splitgate 2, and we will get into the actual Splitgate 2 alpha. Then after that, we'll move on from there. Alright, so we're going to be talking about what Splitgate 2 added in the open alpha stages. And they also have their new multi-team Portal Warfare, which is basically Onslaught, which we know now what that is. And it's also for PS5, Xbox Series X and S. And then also the game ended up coming for old gen, but it was only for 30 frames per second. But mainly it was for PS5 and Xbox Series S and X, which had 60 frames per second support. And yeah, basically the multi-team Portal Warfare, which like I said, we know it's Onslaught now. It's basically like a 8v8v8 experience with there's also new modes that were added for the public to play, and that is Split Ball, Firecracker, and that's pretty much it in terms of modes. And pretty much, yep, the alpha was, well, talked about, and also had some Twitch drops, gifted subs, and they also had their new Hunt the Devs events. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now let's get into the beta. Now the beta I won't spend too much time on because I've actually played the first open beta. Now when I'm talking about the beta, I'm talking about the very first open beta that they have actually published. I'm not talking about the one that went back into beta, you know, because the launch was, yeah, which I'm gonna talk about that in a few moments here. But the open beta, it was just, well, the beta for right before Splitgate 2 will first officially launch, and it was actually going pretty strong. Like, everyone was happy waiting for the game to fully launch. Everyone, like, heck, even like the very first day of Splitgate 2's open beta, their servers were crashing, so it took a while, like a little while, for the servers to get fixed because everyone was hopping on at the same time. It was pretty hype. Now I'm gonna tell you guys about the official launch and yeah, how that went. Well, unfortunately, this is a way to learn that you should not be releasing a battle royale to an arena shooter. Alright, so basically what happened is at Summer Games Fest, we're gonna go straight into it. Summer Games Fest, Ian was, doing his, I guess you could say, hype talk about Splitgate 2 and about how it, the FPS genre was stale and whatnot, until, well, pretty much when the game officially released. Well, before that, the trailer, was playing after Ian left the stage, and it was a VR, and that left sour tastes in a lot of people's mouths already. And to add on top of that, a $80 bundle that was discounted, and it was originally $140. All that combined with the X Call of Duty microtransaction, head of monetization, drama, all of this and every other stuff that happened around Splitgate 2 made the game end up having mixed results on Steam. And the player counts dropped from 25k, yes, from 25k all the way down to 100. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna end this video on a positive note. I don't want to end it on a negative note because all you see on YouTube is just negative videos about Splitgate 2. Oh, how it should have died, it deserves to die, and all this and that. But let's talk about something a little positive. So basically, this and that, all the negative reception made the Splitgate developers had to go back into beta with Splitgate 2, and while they was doing that, they actually made Splitgate 1 peer-to-peer. Yup. Pretty much with the Stop Killing Games movement, well, thanks to the Stop Killing Games movement, Splitgate decided to basically follow up with that, and they made a lot of things like you were actually able to choose anything, any weapon, any skin, any emblem, any title. Hey, you can even be a developer if you wanted to have a developer title if you want to. They made everything available to everybody, all maps, heck, even maps they were actually working on for like a prototype for Splitgate 2 and Splitgate 1, but that's what they're doing. That's what they did. Yep, that's pretty much it. And that's also 9.0.0, by the way, for Splitgate 1, actually. That was the very final version of Splitgate 1. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's kind of lengthy. I tried my best to keep it short, but oh well. If you guys enjoy these types of videos, leave a like, subscribe, and new to the channel. Whether you like historical Splitgate videos, or if you like cut comms, reactions, challenges, whatever the case may be, let me know down in the comments what do you want to see. And your boy Marnix is out. I gotta go. I gotta flow. Oh, I gotta go. Oh, see ya.